Hi, welcome. My name is Marlene. Today I will be playing with Fantasy Cosmetica. It's my first order from Fantasy Cosmetica. Specifically, we're going to be playing with this guy. The artwork in the front is super beautiful. If you know Fantasy Cosmetica, they never use AI generated images. In fact, I found this interesting post off of Instagram about the origin of the artwork for this palette. It said that they did an art contest last year, and then from this contest they had one of the winners whose artwork they were so impressed with they had to have more. They submitted some various sketches and they took elements of what they liked from those sketches and along with their artificer. An artificer is a highly skilled craftsman, artisan, or inventor who creates, modifies objects using ingenuity. Along with their in-house artificer, they came up with this final version and this final statement that is on the last slide. It says, "We remain dedicated to using human-made art and supporting small creators. We are so happy that we could bring in Jessica and her talent as an art teacher in this project. We look forward to seeing more of hers and others' works in the future." Even the back of it is super gorgeous. And I have done these little baby swatches. I hate doing swatches because I don't know if it's the ADHD in me or something, but it's kind of overwhelming to do like arm swatches, and I saw somebody do these little baby like finger swatches on Instagram and I was like, oh, that is so manageable. I can do that. So I did little baby swatches here. I'm gonna try to get as many of these colors on my eyelids, not my eyeball, on my eyelids. And then I have two other little palettes that I got from them, the Monk and the Fighter. This one is the Monk. I really have to see what this looks like. That is interesting. And then this is the Fighter. Play with those another time. And then I got this little Celestial Lights. Same, let's have a moment for that artwork. It's super pretty. It's like a little highlighter palette. Highlighter, almost blushy type palette. Let's swatch this out real quick too. Okay, so that would be these three right here. Ignore this guy. There are the highlighter swatches. Super pretty. Let's get some of this stuff on my face. I also have some fragrances that we can talk about either this video or later. And then I have this lovely crackling candle. That's also from them. It smells like Christmas. It's very like foresty and piney. Put that out for right now. Even though the crackling is very soothing. But anyways, I'm all over the place. First time ordering with Fantasy Cosmetica, and I got to say the turnaround time from the time I placed my order to when my order showed up is kind of ridiculous. So I placed my order June 7th and my order came in June 10th. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, Fantasy Cosmetica's got kind of like this, like, I don't want to say witchy, but it does kind of have like a witchy vibe. So if anyone is capable of some kind of magical spellcraft to make these items show up super fast, it's gonna be them. I'm super impressed with how quick that shipping was. Maybe they're located near me, I'm not too sure. I am in California. They're located in Washington, so that makes sense. They're like a couple states above. Now let's start playing. I'm going to try to get, of course, like I said, as many shadows onto my eyelids. Swatching them out was like really nice. Now before I do play with the eyeshadows, I have primed my eyelids, but I got two of these lip balms. I'll put the colors on the screen because they're not on the actual tubes themselves. This one is a kind of caramelly brown color. And it smells like burnt sugar, which is not one of my favorite scents. This one, I'm not too much a fan of the color, but it does help with like moisturizing and hydrating. I just can't stand that burnt caramelly sugar scent. Now this next one though is purple. I love purple. With this next one, I'm going to put on a lip liner because I think it needs a lip liner. It looks a little weird without it. That's just the black Beaute Bar lip liner. But this purple one is actually really pretty. I tried it on its own and I was like, okay, this is kind of magical because it does have like blue sparkles in it. It just looked a little too pale on my lips, hence the lip liner. But I'm gonna leave this on while we do the eye look. Yeah, this is super pretty. Alright, enough messing about. Let's see how many of these colors I can get on my eyelids. Let's see these in without all that light in the way. For the inner corner, I'm going to use Wisp. This little periwinkle blue. Turn the light back on. It's our first time trying out this formula. And so far, it is performing beautifully. Okay, that is gorgeous. On first application, it's just... Okay, that's really good. Let's see, how do we carry on from here? So, I think I'm going to do Player, this magenta color. I'm going to put that on the bottom right here. I'm going to try to take my time with this and have a little bit more intent with what I'm doing here, because sometimes things can get a little out of hands for me and a little sloppy. I want to work on my blending and the shapes and designs I do with my eyeshadow. That's something I've been trying to be a little bit more mindful and a little bit more intentional with. This fuchsia color is freaking gorgeous. Yeah, so far everything is applying beautifully. Like, I'm not seeing a lot of fallout. It's very easy to build up. There's not a lot of powder in the pans. It's gorgeous. And I think the reason I haven't tried them before was because, like, the color stories didn't really call to me. Like, I like orange, but, like, you know, that's like a fully orange palette. I don't like orange that much. And then this one, I like that it's like pale and kind of like dusty. Like very muted colors. But it's still not a color story where I'm like, I really need to have that. But these colors, they really, really called to me. I was like, I really actually am very drawn to these colors. And I'm very happy that so far these are, like I said, applying very nicely, working very nicely. They're holding up very nicely. I think whatever was going on here is just me not properly spreading out the primer. Okay, so there's those two colors. Let's see, what do we do next? Decisions. I'm gonna do this turquoise looking color, or what would you call that? I think it's like turquoise. I'm gonna build that up on top of the blue. Just put that right there. And I think for blending all these colors together, I'm going to use the shimmers. I went in with the lime green. Dang it. Okay, and then we're gonna do something in my intuition is just saying to go with the pale pink on the outside. Okay, we're gonna do the pink out here. You know, part of me is wishing I did like one eye with the blue, the turquoise, the green, and then the other side I did it with the purple, the periwinkle, and that darker blue. Maybe an idea for another day. But we'll just keep going forward with what we got here. But that pink is like super pretty. I'm going to continue that pink underneath too. Then I'm going to start mixing in a little bit of this magenta color. I'm going to start blending that out and kind of create like a gradient, so we don't have so harsh of a line between the two colors. Okay, I'm going to put the lime green under here. Kind of feather it out. And then I'm just going to go back in with the teal and kind of lighten out that harsh line I have there. Just try to blend it somewhat. Okay, now I want to start adding glitter just to mash all of this nonsense together. This one here, called Weird, is very translucent, and it has this like beautiful bluish purple shift. Lazurite is very, very bold. Now, fungi and magma, the yellow and the orange, have a little bit of that kind of like wet look, but they also can be like a little sheer. And then this guy here, it's very bold. So I'm going to try to incorporate these somehow. And I think the easiest way to dissolve this harsh line here is going to be using Weird to just kind of melt all three of these colors together. I'm going to put Rift on the inner corners. I'm gonna leave it just like that for right now. I'm still not happy with this here, so I'm gonna work away a little at it until I'm satisfied with how it looks. Okay, I'm gonna bring fungi. I kind of did what I could blending out Weird and Rift. Weird being this one, and then Rift being this one, out into here to just kind of combine these colors together. And I'm very tempted to go in with fungi, the yellow color, and do a little here. That way it kind of like brings in the lime green and whatever's going on up here together. So I'm just going to take that with my finger and then just apply it here. I'm usually not a fan of yellow, but this color's like super freaking pretty. Ooh. Yeah, that's a really pretty color. And then I think we should do magma. Right over here. Ooh, that is so fun. I know it's not like the perfectest of looks, but yeah, that yellow is insane. That red color is insane as well. I'm like trying real hard not to go over the top with these here. I still want a lot of those mattes to show through, but I'm trying to get them even so that they're like equal on both sides. And I think that is okay. So I'm going to go back in with Weird and finish off a little bit of shimmer on the brow bone. I think that would be appropriate. And I think I'm very tempted to bring some of the lime green up here too. Okay, we're going to be very intentional about this. The lazurite, try to incorporate it down here in the most intentional way, because I feel like this color is very, very, very bold. I want to keep the outsides matte, so I just did a little bit of that lazurite color here and here. And these color contacts are like kind of really like making the look right now. I'm going to finish this off by just perfecting any like weird edges, putting on some maybe eyeliner and for sure some mascara, and then we'll come back and talk about this palette because this is insane. And then I have 3 lipsticks. They were like 75 cents each. One of them is blue and then 2 are red. So I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back. I kind of cleaned that up, put some face gems on, and I'm trying to use up some of my older mascaras. So I did a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury Exaggerize on the top lashes, and on the bottom lashes, this Question Beauty Grape Oasis Purple Mascara. You can barely notice that it's on there. And then I tried to put a little bit of the glitter topper on there, also from Question Beauty. This is Rose Sorbet. This is the old style where they had the regular bristle type wand. I think now they're a metal metallic wand, like it's just like a straight wand with little ridges in it. It might be easier to get the glitter on there, but I really had to rely on the tip of this with that glob on there, and then just like really try to like slowly cake it on and work it on. Not even sure if you can like really see it or really tell it's there. It almost looks like my eyelashes are just kind of like dirty. But yeah, I just was taking the little tip of it and then trying to work it on a little bit at a time, because it does just kind of go on like really clumpy, and then you have to kind of like work it on. This mascara was not one of my favorites, that's why I haven't really reached for it, and it's just kind of sitting there and getting old, so I'm not gonna mess with this anymore. Let's do some blush. I have this one from Singe Beauty called Fearless Fig and Pretentious Plum. So I'm going to try to use a little bit of both these to create that, and then we're going to use some of the Fantasy Cosmetica highlighters. I'm going to do the lavender-y color in the middle here. This is not a blush brush, but all my brushes are filthy right now. But I will need something smaller. Here we are. This one's somewhat clean. I'm gonna go a little heavy-handed with it because I want it to be kind of very obvious. So it's gonna hopefully not look too pale. Okay, so that is Fearless Fig. And then I'm going to do Pretentious Plum out here. This one I'm not gonna go super heavy-handed. Then I'm going to use my other bigger blush to just kind of melt those in together and lighten up the blend. That's both of those blushes on. Let's see which highlighters we want to use. I think I'm going to use a little bit of every single highlighter. I think up in here I want to use the light pink one. And it does come off very kind of gold. Ooh, then that's very potent. Do a little bit of the purple one here. And then I'm going to do the middle pink on the top brow bone. And we are extra shiny and glittery. Ooh, damn. Might have done too much. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna stop messing with the face. Let's try some of these lipsticks. So, like I said, I have 3 lipsticks that are probably might not be on the site anymore because they were heavily discounted. They were like 75 cents. 2 of them are reds. This one is called Mystery. Ooh, they're very creamy. Let's swatch them all out first. And then, just, yeah, like, first let's take a moment and appreciate these, the components. It says The Lost Library on it. It's got like a little globe, a little bookshelf with the little plants and books on them. And this one's called Secret. Ooh. And then this last one is called Forgotten. It's blue. Alright, let's do Secret real quick. Alright, we're not going to do the cleanest of swatches, but this is Secret. Which is this one here. Yeah, Secret's more of like a true red. It is kind of blue leaning. And then this one's a lot darker, which is called Mystery. They do have an odd smell. It's not pleasant. It smells kind of chemically, and I think just based on the smell, I would not use this regularly. So that is a Mystery. Yeah, that smells very bad. Alright, for the blue lip, I'm going to use this Black Moon Cosmetics lip liner in the color Underworld. It's a kind of eggplanty purple lip liner. And this one's called Forgotten. Okay, so I wanted to keep this one on, but just based on the smell and the weird tingly feeling it's getting on my lips, I do not want to keep it on any longer. Not saying that it's like probably like spoiled or something, but it just doesn't sit right on my lips right now, and I don't want to keep it on. But my original plan was to put that lip balm over it, the purpley one, and get some gloss on it, but I'm just gonna take this off. Alright, so I went over my lips with the lip liner from Haniix Cosmetics. It's called Cool Girl, or Cool Girl Pink is the color, and that is that right there. I think this is like a super pretty color to just wear on its own, and it's very comfortable, and it does give that like blurred lip effect. And then I'm going to go in with the Westman Atelier lipstick in the color Mink. Or is that too peachy? We'll add glitter on top of it. And then over top, I'm going to use this Terra Moons gloss in the color Eclipsing. But I'm going to apply it with my finger so I don't get my doe foot all contaminated with the glitters here. And that is my finished look. It's a bit much. But let's recap real quick. I am in love with this formula. This is amazing. I'm hoping that the formula in the other two palettes is exactly the same because this is freaking delicious. Highlighters are very pigmented and very impactful, so a little goes a long way. And then the color scheme of this, oh my goodness, it's so freaking pretty. Like, this is perfection. This was just so much fun to play with. I like the little lip balms. Like I said, the color and the scent on this one is okay. The scent and the color is okay on this one, but the scent is not my favorite. The lipsticks, I would totally pass on them. Even though they are really cheap, like 75 cents. They smell weird. Formula is not super great. And they felt kind of tingly on my lips. So I would skip these. As for the candle, I totally love the candle, and we will talk about the fragrances another time because I have spent a lot of time on this look. But yeah, next time I play with one of these palettes, we'll talk about the fragrances because there is one fragrance that I really love, and then the other ones I would kind of pass on them. But yeah, that's it for me. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.